Welcome to another Ask Arlington. I'm Jay Warren. Ask Arlington is a show that is dedicated to answering the questions that you have about what's happening right here in our city. On this episode, we are focusing on the development happening in downtown Arlington with the addition of Urban Union, the ongoing construction of 101 Center, and the new Central Library, among many other projects that are happening in downtown. There certainly is plenty of excitement happening here in the American Dream City. And joining me now to answer your questions is Tony Rutigliano. He is the president of our Downtown Management Corporation.
Yes, sir.
Tony, thank you for being here.
You bet, Jay. Thanks for having me.
And it really is an exciting time. We have seen a rebirth of downtown Arlington, haven't we?
We have, and I can't think of a more exciting time in the history of Arlington for what's going on in our downtown today. It really is becoming that community gathering place where Arlington residents identify with Arlington.
Right. The cool thing is, I think the city council, when they voted to, and then also the foundation and so forth, to have the Levitt Pavilion come to downtown, that was the catalyst that started all this a decade ago, right?
That is absolutely correct. Right. The Levitt Pavilion is the sole reason why we're seeing the growth and experiencing the momentum we're experiencing today. That idea of bringing downtown the community's front lawn, essentially, and giving people a reason to come back to downtown, that's the shining moment for us.
And that was the promise, and look at that. The dream, the promise, all coming to fruition, which is really exciting to
Absolutely.
see. All right. Well, we've got some great questions from many of you at home, and a lot of actually positive comments, not just questions about the excitement, and they're really pleased to see. But let's get to our first question, and that does come to us from Amy. She writes, there's so much going on in downtown Arlington, Texas. What is the best way to find out about events in our awesome cultural district, and how can someone follow the progress construction on and along Abram Street over the next couple of years? So a couple of questions there.
Some great questions.
Yeah.
One, the first, how do you stay in touch with what's going on in downtown? Go to our website, downtownarlington.org, and sign up for our newsletter. That way you'll get the events that are happening each and every week in downtown, and you'll be the first to know what's going on at the theater, what's going on at the Levitt, what's going on at the museum.
That's great. And then the Abram Street project, we're going to start seeing a lot of construction happening there. And, and our mantra here at City Hall is you're going to see some dust, but it'll be worth the pain at the end.
That's right.
How do you keep on track with that?
You know, we're going to launch a new campaign here pretty soon called My Abram. And actually, we're bringing back that campaign. When we first started talking about what we needed in downtown to create a pedestrian-friendly environment, we knew that Abram Street was critical to that success. And so now we're bringing back the My Abram campaign to keep people informed on what's happening during this construction and sharing with our friends and residents all the great places that they still need to go, even though, Jay, it's inconvenient and they might get a little dusty and it'll be frustrating. Yeah. But we've got some friends here that desperately will need our continued support throughout the construction.
Yeah, there are a lot of restaurants right there on Abram that have been, we're really kind of at the front end of this redevelopment of downtown Arlington.
That's absolutely right.
And we want to be sure to support them through the construction process.
That's
sure.
right.
And before we move on to our next question, you did mention to me that there are a couple of events that you wanted to highlight. This seems like an appropriate time.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think, you know, the Levitt's always ongoing. They're taking a break right now during the summer, but they'll be back kind of that Labor Day weekend with Bob Schneider. And on September 2nd, Saturday, would be Taste of Arlington. And I'm excited that they're bringing that event downtown and really rebranding it. So you won't want to miss it. You want to get your tickets now for September 2nd, Saturday. That event takes place on West Main, right next to the theater.
Yeah, Taste of Arlington is really cool because if you think about Arlington and the diversity that we have here, particularly from the university, but also in our population, you end up with some of the most culturally diverse restaurants right here in Arlington that you'll see throughout all of North Texas. Right. We kind of hold that marker, so there's some great food to taste.
Yeah. And then one other event, real quick, Jay, that I wanted to highlight is the South Street Art Festival in its 5th year, coming back to downtown in October, mid-October, and you won't want to miss it. Fine art at its best, and we're excited about that event.
That's great. A lot happening, that's for sure. Well, let's get to our next question. This one comes to us from Beth, and she writes, I love the addition of public art in downtown. Is there a list of all the installations and who the artists are? We, of course, have the Star Project, and I think there are others as well.
Absolutely.
So
but one quick way that you can find out all the public art pieces and find more about those public art pieces in downtown is go to our website again. And we actually have an interactive map where people can select right there at the upper left-hand corner. Go to that map, and you can just pick public art, and it'll bring up all those assets in downtown and learn more about them.
One of the things that you accomplished there at the Downtown Management Corporation is being able to get the Cultural Arts District established here, which was a real feat.
You know, Jay, I was really proud of that accomplishment. I think for a long time, our cultural arts partners didn't receive the recognition they deserve. They've been working in Arlington for a long time and really providing quality entertainment to the community. This was their opportunity to shine a little bit, and I'm real thankful that the state saw fit to designate us as a cultural arts district.
It was a great honor, and it really is a tribute to their work. I agree
absolutely.
with that. Well, our last question comes to us from Joe. He writes in wanting to know more about what restaurants residents can look forward to in downtown. So can you give us some advanced knowledge about what may be coming to downtown?
Sure, we've got a couple that we can talk about right now. One that was previously announced called the Craft Yard, coming to Urban Union. Excited about that project. Think about an outdoor restaurant type with lots of great shade trees. Really going to have an interesting menu. Of course, then we've got Lester's that's coming to East Main Street. And Lester's will be an outdoor music venue, but they'll have food and things like that. And of course, you can't talk about restaurants without talking about Gilligan's and Grease Monkey and J.R. Bentley's and all the fine folks that have invested in downtown for a long time.
The mainstays.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, Tony, again, great things happening in downtown Arlington. It's really exciting to see. 101 Center will be opening soon. The Central Library will be opening, I think, March of next year is our game plan. So a lot of really cool things happening in downtown Arlington.
Yes, sir.
And you've been in the middle of it all. Thanks, Tony. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And thank you all at home for sending in your questions and participating in this Ask Arlington. Be sure to tune in next time when we'll answer more of your questions on Ask Arlington.